By 2030, like 75% of today's jobs will be replaced by robots and AI.
Which is just a massive number.
Right. Today, we are looking directly at your future, specifically the huge disruption AI is causing in the job market. International STEAM Research, or ISR framework, is kind of offering us a survival guide.
Yeah, a much needed one, honestly.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
We aren't just talking about machines, doing heavy lifting or crunching spreadsheets anymore.
No, not at all.
Right, like we are looking at robots performing high-precision critical surgeries. We've got AI flying drones, driving taxis, and even using neural networks to produce multilingual music that sounds completely human.
The shift is just exponential. I mean, our machines are rapidly acquiring the abilities to hear, speak, write, and understand. They're mastering all those rigid, structured tasks that used to define a good career.
Which is terrifying when you look at our traditional education system. It feels like we are strictly training humans to be basic calculators at the exact same moment we're inventing supercomputers.
That is a great way to put it.
So, like, if the machines can do all of that, what is actually left for us?
Well, what's fascinating here is that the answer really lies in completely abandoning that rigid, standardized testing model. Because AI is mastering the predictable, the future job market belongs exclusively to the versatile.
Okay.
The sources highlight a pivot toward hudagogical learning.
Wait, hudagogical. That is a heavy word.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, but it basically describes self-determined experiential learning. It's a massive shift from obsessing over a final test result to deeply valuing the actual process of discovering how things work.
Okay, but if we're abandoning standardized tests to build this versatility, how do we actually measure or teach that? Because the sources keep bringing up STEAM as the vehicle for this experiential learning. But I have to push back here for a second. Isn't STEAM kind of just a buzzword, like sprinkling a little bit of painting into a coding class and calling it revolutionary?
Honestly, that is a super common misconception, but no. STEAM, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, is not a collection of isolated subjects.
Okay.
It is an entirely different way of thinking. The sources actually use Leonardo da Vinci as the perfect example. I mean, he's the ultimate Renaissance man, right?
Right. The painter who was also an anatomist and an engineer.
Exactly. And his genius didn't come from just knowing a lot of separate facts. It came from his ability to form new patterns by, connecting those different elements.
Makes sense.
So the ISR framework uses something called the 7Es cycle to teach this. It involves stages like engage, explore, explain, and elaborate.
So it's very hands-on.
Very. Instead of just memorizing a formula, students might engage with a real-world problem, then explore multiple possible solutions where things will inevitably go wrong, and then explain why their first attempt failed.
Ah, so making mistakes is built in.
Yes. Because they are expected to hit dead ends during that explore phase, making mistakes becomes a normal, required part of the learning cycle. The entire goal is to completely eliminate the fear of failure.
Been created by students like you.
If you're terrified of failing, you're never going to try connecting things in a new way. You'll just stick to the safe, standardized answer.
Right.
Learning with me is fun. Listen to a song. Would you like to listen to a song? Would you like to listen to a song?
We are singing for a better world we dream.
My name is Aisha Sultana and I'm from 6th Guidance D section. I'm very excited to learn about AI and I'm ready to use AI in the future. It's a really problem solver. Thank you, President and dear family.
And that fear of failure isn't just a psychological hurdle, it is deeply neurological.
Wait, neurological? You're saying traditional grading versus experiential learning actually changes how the brain wires itself?
According to the sources, yes. James E. Zoll, in his book From Brain to Mind, explains this perfectly. When you give learners actual choices in complex, real-world challenges, you heavily stimulate the cerebral cortex.
Which does what exactly?
Well, it's the part of the brain associated with decision-making and problem-solving. Experiential learning actually leverages neuroplasticity. By learning through doing, especially in those messy experimental stages, students are literally rewiring their brains. Yeah, it improves cognitive skills like processing speed, memory, and attention.
So we aren't just teaching them new facts, we're physically upgrading their hardware to process information faster and more creatively.
That's spot on. And this versatile brain development is critical, especially considering 80% of today's fastest growing careers require these exact STEAM skills.
In a world of exponential technological development, memorizing facts isn't going to save your career. Harnessing those transferable skills, connecting the dots, adapting, working in teams, that is how you avoid being replaced by an algorithm.
It really is a massive paradigm shift.
I am Aditi and I am from 8 Tulips, and I am very lucky to have this in our school and very excited for this robotics, and maybe it will help in our life and future. I am very thankful for Farmer to have this.
I'm Anurithna Reddy from 8th Violets. I'm very thankful to Father and Principal Ma'am for bringing this technology to our school.
Thank you for giving us a great opportunity for our future and now. I want to thank our father and our principal man.
We are living in exponential times. The future job market belongs to the heterogogical and versatile.